It's a big threat that this international coalition is confronting. Why did the president compare himself to a big city mayor fighting crime?
Well, Ed, I think what the president is talking about is he's talking about the necessity of assuming some leadership. And the president has stepped forward. Again, we've got 60 members of this broader coalition. And those countries are members of this coalition because of the leadership of this president. And the president has succeeded in leveraging the influence of the United States of America to build this coalition and even to get countries in the region to fly alongside American military pilots as they're carrying out airstrikes against ISIL targets.
Right, but he wasn't talking about the coalition. Back on the mayor, he said, I'm sort of like a big city mayor. Is that the president trying to downplay the threat?
Mm-hmm. And the president devotes significant periods of his day on a regular basis to confronting the threat that is posed by ISIL, by al-Qaeda affiliates, and by other organizations around the globe that seek to do harm to the American people. The point that the president made, and I will restate, is that the president certainly has a responsibility to take these threats seriously. And there are significant resources that are dedicated to protecting the American people. But when it comes to the American people's level of concern and the amount of risk that they face, it is clearly different than the kind of risk that the American people faced in the days before 9/11.
In terms of that risk, at the prayer breakfast last week, we didn't get a chance to ask you about this. What did he mean when he talked about these horrible deeds by Christians back in the Crusades hundreds of years ago? Was he trying to make a moral equivalence between misdeeds by Christians and radical Islam, what's happening today?
Well, Ed, I would encourage you to take a careful look at the president's remarks. And I'm not suggesting that you haven't. I'm just suggesting that those who are interested in this should take a careful look at the president's remarks. And I think what is unquestionably true is that throughout history we have seen individuals perpetrate terrible acts of violence in the name of religion. And regardless of what religion you are trying to use to justify your terrible act of violence, it's the responsibility of people of faith, of all faiths, to step forward and say that it's wrong.
When you put all these statements together, doesn't it sound like he's trying to say, look, this has been going on for a long time, I'm like a mayor and dealing with this kind of thing? Terrorism is just not a big deal.
Well, Ed, I don't think the president's record of fighting terrorism reflects that at all.
Okay, last thing on